these wheels I changed in Vinkovci. I bought some new wheels to have a good and better street.
CARSTEN SCHEPERS je na prvu sasvim običan čovjek. Međutim, ono što ga razlikuje od drugih jeste njegova vizija i odlučnost. Upravo te osobine su ga i navele da se uputi u neobičnu misiju u kojoj je upoznao nove kulture, stekao nova prijateljstva i pronašao svoj duševni mir. A sve je to uradio pješačeći kroz 12 država svijeta i prešavši nevjerovatnih 9300 km. Svoje putovanje koje traje i danas započeo je 2018. godine. U nastavku vam donosimo priču o ovom zanimljivom čovjeku.
No, I'm CARSTEN SCHEPERS. I'm from Germany. I started my journey at 25th of August 2018 in Potsdam, and I became in October 38 years. So I traveled in total now 2 years, 2 months and 14 days today. My professions are carpenter, so making furniture, and this is my first profession. My second profession is forwarding agent, organizing logistic processes, dispatching trucks, making the paperwork for logistic processes. And I worked during my career in the Netherlands. This was my main working period. And then I moved to Germany to become a production manager in Berlin. And I just decided to do the Camino de Santiago, walking to Santiago de Compostela, because of many reasons. First of all, my mother died in 2018, but I took this decision much more earlier in 2015. And I'm very interested in architecture because of my profession carpenter. And I'm interested in the weather observation, looking how the weather becomes and the climate is changing. And I'm further interested in many sciences like mathematics, physics, information technology. And this is the reason why I found you. I went to the bibliothek, to the library, and I saw your studio, and I just knocked onto the door, and I asked perhaps I can introduce myself, because I made the experience when I enter a country, it's better to introduce yourself than that the people are becoming suspicious about who is this, what is he doing, why does he have a shopping cart, what is this? And this is the reason why I try to make knowledge with you, and here I am.
Could you please tell us which countries have you visited so far?
Until now I visited 12 countries. Bosnia Herzegovina is the 12th country. I started in Germany, and I walked via Magdeburg, Hanover, to my hometown Bocholt, next to the Netherlands, but I went further down in south direction to Aachen. It's the ancient place of Charles Magne, Carolus Magnus, perhaps you knew him. He was the first emperor of Europe, and I entered at that place Belgium. Then I traveled further to Luxembourg. I passed the monastery of Clairvaux, Saint-Maurice. Then I traveled further to Luxembourg city. I followed the Moselle in France, at Thionville. Then I followed the Saône, the Rhône, to Port Saint-Louis. Then I walked a little bit back, and I followed the south coast of France. Then I traveled to Montpellier, Carcassonne. I entered Andorra, begin March 2019. Then I passed Andorra to Spain. I made a little bow around Barcelona because it's a very big city, and many high criminality rate, so I tried to avoid to enter Barcelona. Then I traveled along the south coast of Spain via Murcia, Alhama de Murcia, Malaga, Tarifa, and then I was at the Strait of Gibraltar. It's a very beautiful view when you can look down 1 kilometer onto the Strait of Gibraltar, and you see the big container vessels, and you can they are so small and tiny, you can think you can grab them and play with them. It's very interesting view. And then I went in August 2019 in northern direction to Portugal. I entered Portugal at the last place in Spain was Ayamonte. First place in Portugal was Asinal. Then I entered Martin Longo at 25th of August 2019. I went further to Lisbon. Then I entered Fatima. It's also a big famous pilgrimage place. And then I continued my travel in northern direction to Spain again. And after that I followed the coastline, or the northern coastline of Spain. I traveled via Bilbao, San Sebastian. Then I entered again France. First place I can remember in France is Aurigne. I walked along the Pyrenees to the pilgrimage place called Lourdes. Then I continued my travel again to the Mediterranean Sea at the place called Tarascon in France. My ways crossed in Tarascon. Then I continued my travel to Sainte Marie de la Mer. It's the first place. It's told that the three sisters of Jesus did the first step on European ground at Sainte Marie de la Mer. It's, as far I know, the oldest Christian community, with reports from the year 2000 years ago, from the year 42, I think. And then I continued my travel to Menton. It's a border city to France, between Monaco and Italy. And I had a stay of 9 weeks during the lockdown in Menton. It was really awful to be in one place for 9 weeks, because I could not manage to have enough food this 9 weeks, and there was only the Red Cross for 2 days in the week, and for the rest I had to ask people. And then I entered on 3rd of June this year Italy. I walked via Sanremo, Ventimiglia, Sanremo, to Genova, the place of birth of Christopher Columbus. Then I traveled further to Rome. I entered Rome at 4th of July this year. And then I continued my travel in northern direction to Assisi, a very famous pilgrimage place for the Franciscan people. It's, I think, the headquarter of the Order of Franciscans of the Catholic Church. And then I continued my travel via San Marino. So this was the ninth country. I continued my travel to Slovenia via Trieste. Big cities I can remember in Slovenia are Ankaran, it's the first city, then Koper, Lucia. Then I entered Croatia on 8th of August this year. I walked completely around Istria to Pula, northern direction to Rijeka. Then I continued my travel to Otočac, Gospić. I was at the Nikola Tesla Memorial Park in Smiljan. Many people think that Nikola Tesla is from America, but it's not true. He's from Croatia. He was born in Smiljan, near Gospić. And then I traveled on to Korenica. It's a bigger border town to Bihać. I tried to enter Bihać on 25th of August this year, but it was not possible for me because I had to have a COVID test, and I tried to find a possibility to do it. And I found a possibility in Osijek, and I did this test negative, so I was able and allowed to enter Bosnia now. And then I traveled to what I said, Korenica in Croatia, Virovitica, Osijek, and then to Vukovar, Vinkovci, and the last was Županje, and then I entered Bosnia, and I made knowledge with some people, and I was very interested, and I'm very surprised that I'm positive surprised about the people of Bosnia. They are very friendly, they help, and it's very nice to be here.
Okay. So actually, what I want to know is how did your friends, people you know, you love, how did they accept your decision to travel to these countries?
I tried to find some people to travel with me. I told them I want to go to Santiago, and then I want to go to Rome, and they told me, you're crazy. When you reach Santiago, you will never reach Santiago, you will die. And I said, no, what should be the problem? It's the European Union, the police is doing a good job, what will happen? And I said, I will do this journey. And I planned my journey weather optimized, so I tried to be at that geographic coordinate where the highest chance on good weather is. And until the day of today, I had 93.5% optimum weather, sunny, nearly no rain. And I they told me, you are crazy. It's not possible to travel by walking. And some people really think, can it be? But I found some people who have access to satellite surveillance. So there are. I saw photos of mine via satellite. You can see me by walking. So I just walked. I have to think. I drove by car and bus around about 200 kilometers. But until the day of today, I counted my steps some days, so I made a statistic guess about my distance, and netto I walked around about 9,300 kilometers. Netto means for me pilgrimage and looking for a possibility to find something to eat, and this is now the distance. In the average I walk around about 15 kilometers a day. My record was 70 kilometers, but it's nearly not to do. You are very tired when you walked 70 kilometers. You have to walk from dusk till dawn. So when the sun is going up, you have to start. No break, no, not even drinking something. Just walk. And this is my record, but in the average 15 kilometers. This is the average, and it's to do. So 3 hours walking and the rest just resting, because when you walk all the day, you have to be very focused, because you have to keep your secure and in safety. I try to avoid the rush hour, and this is how I do this journey.
Have you had any problems in the countries you visited?
Not big problems. Sometimes you are not able to find something to eat. My money has been stolen for the travel. It was around about 6,800 euro. But I went to the Red Cross and the Caritas, and people helped me immediately. These were my biggest problems. My starting weight was 100 kilogram, and my lowest weight was 55 kilo, because in some places I could not find enough to eat, and my record period without food is 10 days. So this is very hard. And these are the biggest problems I had. But for the rest, all Europe is very safe, and the police, what I said, is doing a good job. So I did not have really many problems.
You mentioned the countries you visited. I suppose you've learned, let's say it that way, many things about the cultures you visited. Which one do you find the most interesting?
Until now, I am now 4 or 5 hours today here in this city, or 2 days in Bosnia. So I cannot make really a good report about, or a representative report about Bosnia. But until now, my most favorite countries are Portugal and Croatia, because the people, for example, in Portugal, are very helpful. And it's very common that people invite you for supper and dinner to a restaurant. They never saw you, and in Portugal there are, in small cities with 1,000, 2,000 inhabitants, restaurants and bars and cafes, and people meet, the whole village meets at this cafes or bars to have a common dinner or supper. And when there's a place left free, they just invite you. They never met you before, and they just, oh, we have a free seat, so take a place. If you are hungry, you can eat with us. And this is very, very nice. This is what I remind now at the moment. And I would compare Portugal to Croatia, because Croatia is also a very safe place, and these are the two countries where I would say about very good, nice people, good culture, good food, and I'm very interested in visiting the churches, because I'm a carpenter and I'm interested in the interior design, and the ancient carpenters were also very handy to make beautiful Baroque and even Rococo furniture, and just I was very impressed about the churches in Croatia, about the culture, about the people 800 years ago, that they were able to paint such beautiful paintings. In Istria, I saw a Slavonian wall picture, I would say 5 by 8 meters, and so beautiful and so big and so impressive. I was very impressed about it. So this is what I remind, but there are so many impressions. I think I could tell 2 weeks about it. And but these are the two countries where I say very safe, very nice, very clean, and I appreciate it really to be in Croatia. And these are my two most famous countries until now. But Bosnia is also very nice, but I did not stay long enough to say is it good or not. But the first 2 days, I would say, very nice country and good people.
So could you please tell us what are your plans for further? Do you want to stay in Bosnia for several days and then go in some other country, or what?
My plan is to visit Medjugorje, also a pilgrimage place. I never heard it before, but when I was in Rijeka, in the Cathedral Sveti Nikola, people told me, perhaps you could go to Medjugorje, but I did not succeed to get access to Bosnia. First they told me, go via Split to Medjugorje, but when I looked at the map of Croatia, at Split or Dubrovnik. Croatia is only 20 kilometers wide, and it seemed to be like a trap. When you are there, you are fixed within a circle of 20 kilometers. So I decided to try to go to Bosnia via Bihać, but that's what I said. The police or duana officers rejected my request to enter because I did not have a COVID test, and I had to make. At first, I had to find a possibility to make a COVID test. So I decided to enjoy the summer in Croatia, and then try again to go more southern in autumn, and this was now successful. I found a possibility in Osijek to make this COVID test. It was negative, so I was allowed to enter.
Which is your next country?
I don't know. I have to look. It depends on the possibilities. I made now the experience that the borders are changing. The border policy of the countries like Hungary, Serbia, and also Bosnia changed from week to week. One day it was allowed, then not. Then you can enter when you leave within 12 hours. So I have to look. I have to look at that moment in the operative situation. Where can I go? Because I can make big plans, but when a politician in wherever, Macedonia or Albania or Romania or Bulgaria says, no, you are not allowed to enter, then I can also say, okay, I'm not allowed. I want to, but I'm not allowed. So it depends on that situation and that time. I have to look. I go in Germany. Our Ministry for Foreign Affairs has a database. You can go online to it and look it up. What are the restrictions to enter a country? And I have to look at that time when I enter Medjugorje and I leave it. I have to look, where can I go? And my origin plan was to go to Irkutsk at the Lake of Baikal in Russia. So it will be around about 10,000 kilometers to walk there, and I planned 3 years to go there from now until my final destination, Irkutsk. But I have to look. Am I allowed and able to enter Turkey? Can I enter Georgia? Can I enter Russia? These are political circumstances. I do not have a very big influence on it. So I have to look.
So is there anything interesting, more interesting to say to our viewers?
Very interesting. My most famous impressions I had were in what I told already, Tarifa, the Strait of Gibraltar. When you look down 1 kilometer in the depth to the Mediterranean Sea, to the Strait of Gibraltar, you are looking at the ships which are entering and leaving the Mediterranean Sea. And a very interesting and impressive view was in Carcassonne in France. When I entered Carcassonne, I had a full screen view on the Pyrenees from east to west. The complete Pyrenees, it was like cinema, looking at the snow covered tops. This was really very impressive to see. But for the rest, there are so many nice places to be in Europe, in Portugal, the Algarve, where in the summer it's very hot but very nice to see. Very interesting animals which are adapted to the hot circumstances. And Croatia also has very beautiful beaches. France has beautiful beaches. I would invite anyone to travel through the European Union to make up your own opinion, because it's so impressive what I have now in my head. I could tell 2 weeks about it, but it's very important for the people which are looking to your television station. Go to the European Union, look yourself to the beautiful landscapes, and make knowledge with the people.
Well, you are a very interesting person to talk to.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Also,
If you have any message to our viewers, you can.
I just want to thank for the nice welcome when I entered Bosnia, and I'm just interested to make knowledge with your country. Many people in Germany or where else think and told about me, nah, don't go to Bosnia, but I say, go there. It's also very safe. They have a working police. They have safe streets. I do not have any bad comments about it. So come to also to Bosnia. I made already very interesting knowledge with a company which is producing rattan furniture. I was there and I said to the sales manager, he showed me his showroom and his possibilities. It's a really flagship company, and I would invite Bosnian companies come to Germany, perhaps to the international furniture fair in Cologne. Normally this fair IMM, Internationale Möbelmesse, or Interzum, is in Cologne, and introduce your products and tell the European Union and the Germans that you also make great products, and make knowledge with the European Union and tell and show the people what you are able to do.
Thank you once more.
Also, thank you.